YouTube, how you guys doing? Today, I'm going to show you the 10 classes that I'm personally using right now in Warzone and Rebirth Island. These are honestly fire. And I recommend trying every single one of these out just to see if you at least like it. Now let's jump in and show you. So the first class, I have my traditional AR SMG. For the AR, the C58. This new gun actually has a really weird AMAX feel to it, believe it or not, and I'm actually in love with it. Start off, we have Agency Suppressor, Task Force Barrel. Task Force Barrel is the best barrel right now on ARs. It provides recoil control, horizontal and vertical, effective damage range buff, as well as a bullet velocity buff, which is huge. Then you have the 3x optical zoom, which is a must. Build agent grip, which isn't really a must if you guys have been checking out my TikToks recently. This is just a gun I haven't got around to testing yet if you actually need it or not. In all honesty, you could probably not run this underbarrel and slap on like a serpent grip or something. You'd be perfectly fine. Fast 55 round mag instead of the regular 55 round mag. We broke that down further into TikTok. There is no ADSB penalty between the two. It's basically identical. The only difference is that there's a faster reload time with the salvo mag. Now for the SMG I'm running with this class, I'm running the LC10. And honestly, you could swap this out for a mag 10. I have a mag 10 class later down for you guys. So we have a sound suppressor, task force barrel, which you can use, you don't have to use it. The recoil is just so minuscule on the LC10 that I can actually do it. Bruiser grip, because it actually handles the recoil the best out of all underbarrels. Weird, I know. Raider stock, because it's still the best stock in the game. And the 55 round mag, because the speed round actually does give a significant ADS penalty, as well as I just want my fancy skin on there. Regular perks, you know, EOD, Overkill Amped, Simtex, Heartbeat Sensor, whichever you want. For the AR Ghost class, I'm running a RAM class just to switch it up because I love the RAM. Monolithic Suppressor, 3X, 50, Commando, Ranger, normal RAM class. Psychov Pistols, this thing is insane. It's literally an SMG but in a pistol form, as I've always harped about. Tac Laser, Auto Barrel, Monolithic Suppressor, 80 round drum mag, in the ADS grip, whatever, or rear grip, whatever it's called. Now here is the class setup that I'm actually running in quads right now. I'm running a Farah with the RPK barrel, which is the task force barrel, the skeletal stock, which is the equivalent of a Raider pad, 3x zoom, no underbarrel, because that SAS grip actually makes it worse. The grill suppressor and the 60 round mag. We're going to throw it back a little bit to the Modern Warfare MP5, because I cannot control the recoil of the Cold War MP5 to save my life. Here we are with the typical hip fire build for the MP5. We got sleight of hand, 45 round mag, Merc, integral suppressor, and 5 milliwatt laser. You could honestly probably throw on a Mag 10 if you want. Here's the Mag 10 class that I would use. Now here's the Mag 10 class that I'm using. Striker grip, no barrel, sound suppressor, 53 round, the 53 salvo mag. It doesn't really have the ADSB penalty, but it does make reloading it significantly faster. Wire stock, mainly I want the wire stock or the sprint to fire speed. That's what I really want it for in this case. And serpent grip for the ADS speed. It actually makes it significantly faster to aim down sights, and it's the best out of them unless you're running a sniper. Now let's break down my solo class. Solo class, I'm running an SMG Farah build, which is the skeletal stock, serpent wrap, Spetsnaz. It's basically the exact same as my Farah class, except I cut off the optic and shoved on a serpent wrap. Now let's get into the sniper. I'm using the K-Swiss right now. This thing is honestly insane. I'm using a grill suppressor, the combat recon, best bullet velocity, which you need. The effective damage range doesn't really make it that much better. And the aiming stability is kind of important with snipers. 5 milliwatt laser, which makes the ADS speed the fastest out of all of them. It's basically the equivalent of a tac laser for Modern Warfare guns. The airborne elastic, because this one is the best for snipers, especially since you don't really care about the ADS firing speed as well as the sprint to fire speed. That doesn't really matter much on snipers, which is where this excels at. Now, here's where you can vary. You can run the bruiser gripper you want, or you can run a bigger max size, or you can even run a Raider pad. Personally, I'm running the bruiser grip. I found that it makes it run a lot faster, so you can actually run around with this while you're actually out running. It helps the aiming stability. Now, if you wanted to, you could pop it up to a 7 mag if you wanted, or if you wanted to, you can even go and throw on a stock. You could throw on a Raider pad stock if you wanted to. But in all honesty, I found that the bruiser grip just feels much better. Oh, and because this is a solo class running C4, you gotta deal with those vehicles somehow. Here's my HDR class, the same exact far as previously, except my HDR is the typical HDR. I have variable zoom, the F-Tac stock, which is ADS speed stock, the TAC, longest barrel monolithic suppressor. I'm using this more for longer range engagements instead of like quick scoping like you do with the K-Swiss. Basically, if you want to snipe someone across the map, like say from stadium to port, you're going to want the HDR instead of the K-Swiss. All right, here's my K-Swiss class again, and with an AR. This time it's the exact same class as my solos one, except I have a Simtech instead of C4. I know it's not that big of a difference, but it's there. And here's the Ghost K-Swiss class, the exact same K-Swiss class I have, except this time I have a Psychov pistol. Now this is where it actually gets really interesting. It's not an LC-10 fully loaded, it's an SMG fully loaded. Because SMGs and pistols share the same ammo pool, you can run a Psychov pistol taking off that rear grip and slapping on a fully loaded. You can run the AR Milano with an SMG. This thing's insane. You can run the Ranger barrel, bullet velocity barrel, agency suppressor, bruiser grip, which actually helps with the recoil, 3x zoom, and the 55 round salvo mag. This thing is still shredding. It's so much fun, in all honesty. Just watching people say, he just killed me with a Milano at 30 meters. Yeah, I did. And of course you want to plop it off with Ghost, because that's the only reason why you're running this. You're running with a fully loaded Ghost class. So if you drop into those late games where you need a loadout, you need ammo, this is where you go to. Now, I also have a little something that, just in case you want something for more of a longer range engagements. I have 2 AR fully loaded class. This is so you can drop in and be perfectly fine. So for my fully loaded class, I'm running the M4. So you're running this more as an SMG close to mid-range gun engagements, and you're going to use this FARA for more long-range engagements. So you want the Corvus Custom instead of the M16 because it's meant more for mid to short ranges. As you see people that they did in the CDL back when Modern Warfare was the CDL title instead of the M16. Then Commando 50 to make the ADS speed faster, as well as the movement speed a little faster. Fully loaded perk, obviously, and Commando foregrip. And here's my FARA class. Guerrilla Suppress is the same exact FARA as it always has been. This thing is still insane, even after the most recent nerf to it, where it makes the recoil a little more. Still extremely strong, and you don't even need an underbarrel for it, because the underbarrels don't really do much right now, which is a whole other issue that I plan on addressing in another video. And here is my last class. Say it's last zone, you just need some ammo in a class to hold tight, especially if you're in solos. I have the M4, fully loaded, M16 because you actually want to be able to take mid to long range engagements, monolithic, commando, and 60 round mag. And then the Psychov pistol, because the Psychov pistol is French kiss. Now, here's the more important thing here. The M4 actually beats the Grau at most ranges, believe it or not. However, if you do want to run a Grau class, I don't blame you, the Grau is amazing. I would recommend this class for a Grau fully loaded class. Tempest Archangel barrel so you get that beautiful clean iron sight, fully loaded 60 round mag, commando foregrip, and monolithic suppressor. This thing still shreds the exact same way that it used to back in season 2 or 3, whatever it was. Except now it shoots a little more marshmallows instead of the BBs that it used to shoot. The recoil is not a problem. The recoil is literally just a straight line. And to wrap it off, obviously, EOD, Ghost, Amped. Best perks in the game. Now let's say you want to run a restock class for maybe that late game area where you're just trying to camp. Swap that out for restock. Throw on some stuns. Stuns are, I hate them with all my heart. And throw out some Semtex. This is the perfect little campy setting if you need to like hold up nicely and camp your way out to the very end. I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I won't judge you. Except you, Johnny 4519 in the port crane, making me lose my 3v1 in the solos. Anyways, if you're watching this, Johnny, just know I'm coming for you. Anyways, guys, I thought I'd do a little different type of video today. Go through my loadouts. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Should I do more like these? Maybe I'll spectate some randoms. I see that's really popular right now. I probably won't. I'm not big enough to actually attract a crowd. All right, guys. We'll see you fudging later.